Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible, through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi, and a sincere peace and salutation to all you. Hopefully, let I get out there pushing His word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi has created us to do, so He can wake up and seal the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelites who are scattered amongst the heathen nations that may look like the heathen nations, but your father's seed line goes back to you being a so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American, one of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Hey, shalom. It's your brother Halak here from the GMS Denver camp, coming back once again through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi, with another video. And I want to play a little bit of a video, but we're going to start right here in 2nd Esdras 15 and 5. Because, amen, YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi is unleashing in this earth. YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi is crippling the, how can you say, the resource lanes or the means by which you obtain your food and your gas. The Most High is crippling it all, man. Just as the scriptures have said, it's going down. It is going down. So 2nd Esdras 15 and 5 says what? Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And this is what we see being unleashed in the earth. You got food prices skyrocketing. You got gas skyrocketing. You got the fucking monkeypox on the loose. The big C is still out here roaming around. You see, death is increasing in the earth, and more destruction is going to be unleashed by YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi. And why is He doing this? Verse 6 tells you, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So what is this? This is a punishment upon the planet Earth and the inhabitants thereof, beginning with you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you Israelites, the children of the Most High, man. You see, these things are being unleashed upon the earth because of you Israelites walking in that spirit of disobedience toward the Most High. Like we always say, the heathen are going to get effed up regardless. You see, this punishment is going to come down more severe and more harsh upon you Israelites, once again, which are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So I want to play like 5 minutes of this video for my full spectrum survival, and this is what we've been saying through the spirit of Yahawashi, beginning with our apostles and elders for decades, man, that this was coming, and we are here. We have been speaking these things into existence, and it's happening right before our eyes through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi. So let's get it.
All right, everybody, we have a real problem going on, and things are starting to get scary. The cost of gas, truckers are having problems delivering food to the grocery stores, and we are expecting, according to Fox News and some CEOs of different grocery store chains, we are expecting shortages and price increases to come both in the months of July and August. I was sent this information from a trucker who delivered it via a Facebook post. It says, I need to get something off of my chest. I generally refrain from talking politics and especially making political posts. However, I need to say this. What I'm going to post is real, not somebody that's a friend, a cousin, a sister, a neighbor, or anything that's happening to them. I own a small trucking company, and I did a little bit of research and background on his background and was able to see that he does. And this is where the fuel crisis is going in our country. So this directly affects me, he says, you, your children, and our country. Today I filled up my truck to deliver products that help keep our country fed. When I filled them up, it cost me $1,149.50. That is for one truck, he says, for 1 day of fuel. I own 3, so the 1 day of operation is costing me $3,448.50. Yes, we use a full tank of fuel every single day, sometimes more than one tank depending on the driving. My trucks generally run 5 to 6 days per week, so we'll just estimate on the low side and say 5. That's $17,242. Last week, it was over $20,000 for 1 week that I have to pay out of my pocket to try and not just keep my family fed, but my employees and our country. Mark my words, he says, we are on a downhill slide to the worst recession, I note depression, that our country has ever seen. If you don't believe me, he says, I implore you to do your own research. Trucking companies are going under left and right, literally hundreds per week. Now,
what does that mean? That means that there's going to be food shortages, because if you people don't understand, these trucks that you see moving up and down these highways all throughout your cities, all throughout your towns, that's how your food gets to the stores. With diesel being over $6 in some places, these trucking companies cannot afford to do this anymore. And it's all by the design. The Most High is allowing the elite to do this to bring forth prophecy of what? Famine's happening. It's not going to be like it's going to be a shortage of food, like there is no food, but is going to be no way to get the food from the warehouse or the processing plant or the processing factory to the grocery stores. You see, because what? Fuel is going to be too fucking high. You see, he just said what? He had a small company with 3 trucks, and for the week, it took him $20,000 to what? Supply gas for his 3 trucks for a week. That's madness, man. And guess what? As we move further along into the summer months, gas is going to increase more and more and more. You see? Gas is going to become $6 a gallon very soon. And when that happens, and I'm just talking about just regular unleaded, mid, and premium, that's going to be $6 very soon. How much more for diesel? The fuel that these trucks need to move up and down these roads. That might end up being $8, $9 a gallon, $10 a gallon. And that's going to cause what? A lack of resources, man. And this is all according to the will of Yahawashi bahasham Yahawashi. The Most High is touching America, man. The Most High is touching the earth just as he said he would. Just as he said he would. And we have been telling you people that these days were coming, and we are fucking here. We are here. We've told you through the spirit and power of Yahawashi bahasham Yahawashi that this was coming. That this is prophecy. That this is the will of Yahawashi bahasham Yahawashi. And look what's happening right in front of your eyes. Yahawashi bahasham Yahawashi is bringing his word to pass just as he said. Matter of fact, let's get this real quick. This is Isaiah 55:11. It says what? So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. And that's exactly what's happening. Everything the Most High has spoken is coming to pass. This is it for America. We're coming into the final stages of Babylon the Great, aka America. And it only gets worse from here, as it is written.
When you think of trucking companies, you're not thinking of the big ones, the big ones that you see all over the United States of America. It doesn't take that to be a trucking company. It takes one guy in one truck, one guy in 3 trucks, 2 guys and 6 trucks, a small organization. And he's right, they are going bankrupt every single week. We're seeing these bankruptcies take place because they literally cannot afford to put fuel in their trucks and make it from a shipment from one place to another and then have a profit at the end of the week. And so they're saying, no, I'm going to sell my truck, I'm going to claim bankruptcy, and I'm going to go into another job. that's a real problem for you and me, because we're going to see shortages take place across the entire USA. And if it's happening here, then it is happening literally everywhere. You're going to start to see these problems. And when these problems start to affect the American people in a way that they can no longer deny or avoid, that is when you're going to have riots. That's when you're going to have protests. That's when you're going to have people breaking into other people's homes for food. We're already seeing food theft increase across the U.S.
Did you hear that? When you start to see these lack of resources, you're going to see what? Riots and protests and people breaking into each other's houses for food. That sounds familiar. That sounds like it's written somewhere in the Holy Bible. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 14. It says what? Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And this is what it's all coming to. All out chaos breaking loose here in the land of America and all throughout the world, because this is going to happen worldwide. You see, this is going to happen worldwide, but it's going to be on an even more major level here in the land of America, the most wickedest place on this planet Earth. Verse 16 says what? For there shall be sedition among men. Call Allah Yahawashi 144. There shall be sedition among men. What is sedition, man? Sedition is uprisings against the government. Now, why would the civilians or the citizens uprise against the government? Well, maybe because the gas is too fucking expensive. Or maybe because they can't get their food at these stores. Or maybe it's food at the stores and the food is too fucking expensive. I went into Walmart yesterday. You have the 10-pound bag of boneless chicken breast, the Great Value brand. That's usually $22. I went in yesterday to Walmart to grab one, and it was $32. $10 increase. And this is going to continue to happen more and more and more until the price of food is going to be what? Sky high. And that's what's going to cause these uproars. You see, it says what? And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You hear that? Ain't gonna be no fucking president coming on TV telling people to calm down or this, that, and the other. The people are gonna take the power into their own hands. You see? This is what's coming. Watch. This is coming. Verse 17 says what? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Because what? Of all the sedition and uproars and people just taking the power into their own hands, that's going to cause chaos. And that's what the elite of Esau Edom want. Because they have this saying, ordo ab chaos, order out of chaos. So the Most High has put the spirit upon the elites of the so-called white race to cause these hardships in the earth for people to uprise and rebel, so they can be justified in what? Sending in the troops. And that's why it says in verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because what? Once these people start to lose their mind and all hell breaks loose, the elite are gonna initiate what? Martial law. Martial law is going to be initiated, and you're going to have troops in your streets. You see? So-called bringing the peace. It's going to be curfews. You're not going to be able to travel up and down these roads as you're doing right now. Ain't gonna be none of that. They're going to lock this thing down, man. This is what's coming. It's going to get very uncomfortable out here in Babylon the Great and all throughout the world. You see? Verse 18 says what? For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Do you hear that? Because of the pride of you people, beginning with you Israelites. You see? Walking in a haughty, arrogant spirit against Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, he's about to punish you beyond any other time in the earth. This is about to be the worst time in recorded history, man, as it tells you in Daniel 12:1. And the only ones who are going to be saved out of this time are the elect of the nation of Israel, the true believers of Yahawashi. And Lord willing, we be a part of that number. Because it's about to get savage out here, man. You see, it's to the point to where men are going to be afraid. So if the men are going to be afraid, how much more you arrogant, haughty, wicked as women? The Most High is about to make an example out of all of you people, especially you women, man. You women are going to be humbled very, very greatly, because here in this society and under this current system that we're in, you women have been exalted and put up on this pedestal as if you can do no wrong, as if your shit doesn't stink. And the Most High is about to bring you down very, very, very low. You see? Verse 19 says what? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. And the modern day sword is the weapon, the gun, of whatever form it may be. It says what? Your neighbor is not going to have any pity upon you. Why? Because of a lack of resources. If he ain't got something, he's coming into your place, guns drawn. You see, sword out, holding your family at gunpoint. These are the times that's coming. You just heard it in the report. This is what the scripture says is going to happen. It says what? But they shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Do you hear that? And spoil their goods. Whatever you got, they're gonna ransack your shit, man. You see? If they don't have something, they're coming to you to take it. It's about to become real dog eat dog out here in the land of America and all throughout the earth. Because of what? Because of lack of bread, because the trucks are going to stop running eventually. Which you're going to leave food just stacked up in warehouses, not being able to be transported because the fucking cost of fuel is going to be too high. And that's all by design. This is the Most High's will to bring these famines about. It says what? And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. This is what's coming, man. This is what's coming, and it only gets worse from here on out. So y'all just wanted to do that quick video on that, man. Hey, it's about to go down, all according to the spirit of Yahawashi, all according to the words that Yahawashi has spoken. So with that, I'm going to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible, through the spirit and power of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, and a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopeful elect Akim out there, pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi has created us to do. With that, I'm going to say shalom, wa, abba, abba.